Okay. Let's quickly talk about this one real quick. All right. Access control. Anytime we talk data security, guys, ladies, you would agree with me. This one is like we chew this one like popcorn, right? We Please, can we all type access control? This one it's like standard for us, right? At this point, if you see security, it's a baseline in my mind. There must be access control. How do we control access, right? That's easy. Then, of course, within access control, you can tell me role-based, multi-factor, principle of least privilege, access review. You can add other things, but the key is okay, access control because it's security, right? So that's easy for me. The other one we can agree because we are talking about data. Think about it. All of us say WhatsApp. Why do we like WhatsApp? Encryption, end-to-end encryption. That's a common thing in WhatsApp, right? So at the application layer, database layer, transport layer, encryption key management, mostly they do what we call rotation of the encryption key. So mostly they kind of rotate the key so that the chances of it being susceptible to an attack is minimal. So you hear things like key rotation. That's really a common term, especially within even the cloud. So you hear key management. All they're saying is that how do they manage those keys for encryption in general? And application layer, can we all type that word if you don't mind? Because let me tell you the way the context this can come. Somebody can ask you, at what layer of protection are we talking about? Because think about it. Let's pause for a second. Do you know what you use on WhatsApp is stored in a database somewhere, right? WhatsApp is working on an operating system also. WhatsApp is also an application. Let's pause. There's an application, there's an operating system running it, and there's a database it's stored. Any environment you find yourself, you would ask me, is the security, are we looking at security at the layer of application? Can we all type it? Hey, listen, man, these are some of those fancy terms that will make you stand out. Just if you tell me this, I will know that you understand security. Ask, are we looking at it from an application layer, from a database layer, or operating system layer? You can also sneak in network layer. Don't overthink it. All I'm saying is, are you just looking at application alone? Or are you looking at the database, which is where they store the data? Because if you don't look at it from all those angles, you are going to miss out. Because what will happen? Let me tell you what has happened in the past. You can protect your application. Data, WhatsApp has encryption, it has multi-factor authentication. God bless you. Awesome. Your operating system might be amazing. Android operating system, whatever, Unix, Windows, NT, anyone. Perfect. Awesome. But what about if your database is not equally protected? Guess what? A malicious actor does not care about application data network and anything if they have access to database because that's where the data is. So even if I bypass all these ones, oh, you have security along all this one, good for you, awesome. If I have access to your database, I'm good. I don't need anything else. Everything is there in the data anyway. So if you protect application, protect network, protect operating system, but your database messed up, I win. Joke is on you. Bingo. I'm happy. So that's why you think layer. Don't overthink it. I'm just saying protect not just application, protect also operating system, protect also the database, defense in depth. Thank you, Amadu. So you can type defense in depth. I'll probably just do something around that sometimes just to give you guys some high level knowledge around it. Somebody said, can you still have SQL injection if the other layers are protected? SQL injection can still happen because if you have access to the database, then you can do SQL injection. Yeah. And because right now there's so many malicious way people can really attack us. So we have to be more um, ready. So defense in depth is a big one, a good concept. Another thing you might hear is, can we all type that word again? 0 day, um, zero, sorry, zero trust. Can we type zero trust model? Zero trust model. So the zero trust is just saying, as the name implies, I just don't trust anything. So if that's why at times suddenly There are so many behavioral analytics. There are so many analytics developed right now that I can just, if there's a slight pattern, I will just ask you to put your password, put your username, one-time password sent to you because of zero trust. So we just don't trust anything, especially around IAM, identity access management. So we just don't trust anything. So we're going to question everything, and including multi-factor authentication, role-based access, one-time password, encryption. So many things will just trigger you to re-enter your access. A lot of credit card companies use it now. It's very popular right now, which is, I think it's very effective. Um, Yesterday, I was almost a victim of a identity theft, and my credit card company was, so I knew they had a very good robust system. So immediately they pinged me, wanted to know if I was the one that did the transaction and all that. So it's a good model actually. All right, so that's very good to just know, at least know those terms. Data masking, let's keep it simple. This is just a way to kind of fake your data while preserving the consistency of the data itself. So people do that data masking, especially when you're moving data from non-production environment, you know, or production environment to non-production because you don't want people to know who owns the data. So you mask those data, right? It's a good security way to prevent malicious use of your data. DLP, can we all type DLP, everybody? You might hear that word a lot. There's network DLP, endpoint DLP can be for your laptop, your desktop, your mobile, or your database, whatever DLP, data loss prevention. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why when you travel out of the country and you try to, you know, um, at times pull information back and forth, or you're about to leave a company and you download their file, they will send you, it will trigger an alert and tell them somebody's trying to, because they've built algorithm to check patterns of behavior based on certain rules that we've built already in the system. So it will trigger and flag that, okay, you're downloading such information, it's filtering your email, it's showing you trying to put USB, it's showing you capture screenshot of certain sensitive information. So it will trigger, and even your screenshot. Sometimes we can track your screenshot, right? The only thing nobody can track yet is maybe you take your camera and take a picture of this, of your screen. But if you just do control, print screen, or you try to use the snappy to take a screenshot, we can track it. The system can track that too. Data retention policy, we are saying at the end of the day, you should have a policy on how long you want to retain data, what is the archiving period, then what is your data destruction policy or standard operating procedure also. So these are things we expect you to spell out at the end of the day. Like anything else, backup and recovery is also going to be a big deal. How do you do regular backup, recovery testing, offsite storages, and the secure transportation around those systems you are storing. User authentication, this is going to be your regular IAM. Something you know will be your password, PIN, security questions. Something you have will be your token, smart card, mobile device. Something you are will be your biometric. For those of you preparing for exam like CISA, this will be a common one. And probably CompTIA might have some question like this too. All right, data sanitization, we're just saying clean the data, you know, um, anything that would make the data identifiable, we clean it, we purge it, and it's a big deal. So we have to do data sanitization all the time also. Logging and auditing, we need to track and audit the way the activities are uh, being used in your organization, then check the pattern, make sure we have a tamper protection. What that means is that sometimes people can make an attempt to modify a log. So instead of tracking the log to show, John made a change with their timestamp, they could try to make a change to the log to put somebody else's name there and a different timestamp. So we want to protect that because that will be, you know, um, an integrity issue, right? The regular review, we have to constantly monitor the system, the alerts, and activities in general. Another thing I would sneak in, everybody, I'm sure we all know this already, most of us. When you check your mail, when you're trying to log in, you would have HTTP. Most of us will see that HTTP, right? The S always means secure, right? If you don't mind, can we all type HTTPS, everybody? HTTPS, everybody. HPPT, HTTPS, HTTPS. So now, anytime you see the S in front of file transfer protocol, it's just saying secured. It's a secured version of any one of those protocols. Now, make sure you take the Security Plus class for us. Most of these things are really targeted in that program and is designed to pass that CompTIA Security Plus exam. These are the things you'll cover there that will get into the details. I think it's important for all of us to do it. In our program, right now we have 100% pass rate, about almost 30 something people did it last 2 months or so. So, but that program is designed for this. You'll see a lot of stuff like this there. HTTPS, make sure before you trust a website, if it does not have the S in it, it means it's not secure. That's all. Okay. The same thing for email encryption, digital signature. We want to make sure there's secure email attachments, SMIME. So that's another one out there. Um, Vulnerability scanning, again, these are tools, right? So we're talking about how do we scan for potential weakness in your organization. So we have the discovery and inventory. So discovery tool, can we type that real quick, everybody? Can we type discovery? Everybody, please type that word. Okay, I think Ademola said something. What's that? Masking replaces sensitive information with fictional data. Encryption transforms data into an unreadable format. Yes, sir. Yep, that's a good way to. That's awesome. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. Thank you, Ademola. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Discovery. Now, the reason I want to throw that out there is in most environment, you might hear that word a lot. Even for asset management, they might say, "Have you done asset discovery?" Or when we do a scanning, we are doing discovery. What does that mean? When you scan, first, let's even go discover the asset we have. The tools will scan around and do a asset discovery, trying to discover what is out there. Then we can start cataloging or inventorying each one of those assets we've discovered, right? So your scanning is going to be automated most of the time. Many times people do on-demand scanning or they could do a periodic schedule scanning also. Then, of course, we do our risk prioritization, which we've talked about before, CVSS, CV scores also.